So it's time to look at portfolio number 2 and see what might be in there. I don't remember. Let's look at it together. Stay tuned for the video.
Anachronic.
Hi comic fans, I'm Joe and welcome to Anachronic Comics. So, as I told you in the last video, part 1 of this series, I have a number of portfolios or folios that I keep in my closet. And mostly, as I remember, most of them are signed books or remarked books or some sort of special books that I didn't want to keep with my regular comic books down in the basement. And I haven't looked at them in a number of years, and so I thought it'd make some sense, instead of me just opening them up and seeing what's there, that we open them up together and see what we might see. So this one now is number 2. I started putting numbers on them so that I can put whatever comics are in here on CLZ. And so let's open up and let's see what we got. Again, these folios are supposed to hold 15 books, but if you put larger books in, obviously it's less. I think I only had 6 or 7 in folio number 1. This one also, wow, it's pretty thick here. Oh boy. Number 2. So this one also doesn't have as many. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books in here, and can already see where most of them come from looking at this type of thing. All right, so let's see what we got. So the first one is Batman 89, number 1. This is a Miko Swayon variant from Big Time Collectibles, and it was a I think it was a MegaCon. That's Orlando, right? A MegaCon exclusive from 2022. All right, it's signed by him somewhere. Oh, geez, you can hardly see it. It's up here in blue. Can you kind of see it? There you go. You can kind of make it out on the video, not quite. All right, so it's a signed book. Now, the rest of them, as I look at the back of each one of these, I think I know what these are. Back when Action Comics number 1000 came out in 2022, I believe, there were a slew of variants. I mean, you would have to be a gazillionaire to be able to buy them all. But what I did do is that, although I bought a number of them, they came out decade by decade, like a lot of other ones that DC had for special kind of anniversary issues. What I did was I looked at and saw which ones might be for sale that had signatures on them, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to collect signatures on them. And Dynamic Forces teamed up with Midtown Comics to get a number of these books signed, some with limited numbers being signed. So I'm sure that most of these are what we've got here. So the first one I have is a remarked one. It's the cover O, which is the blank. Let's see, which is the blank cover, and it was remarked by Ken. I think it's pronounced Hazer, Haeser. Let me just make sure. Yeah. It says here limited edition. Doesn't say how many. Now Ken Hazer has done a lot of stuff, I think, for Valiant and other people, and developed some comics back in the early 2000s, as I recall, maybe 2010, 2012. But he does a lot of work for Dynamic Forces. He does a lot of remarks, and I think I have a few of his in here. But this was a pretty cool one, kind of a mean-looking Superman on Action Comics number 1000. The blank variant, which I think was O, if I remember correctly. All right. Next one I have is another remark by Ken Hazer. All right. Signed and remarked by him, the Superman emblem. Again, let's see. Again, no numbers on this. So he did a number of them, but they didn't tell us which ones they were, and it's not a numbered copy. Some of them are. All right. Cool remark. Simple, but nice for Action Comics number 1000. All right. Now, next one I really, let's see. Where is it? Next one I really like unfortunately, it's not a real pencil, but it is a repro of a Kurt Swan pencil, which at that time was 20 something out of 90, or it looks like he did it in 91, February of 91. But here it is, pure Kurt Swan. All right, he was the Superman artist for me, and you can see there it's signed, not by Kurt Swan, but it's signed by Tom King, who is one of the writers for one of the stories in Action Comics 1000. Isn't that cool? He always captured Superman for me. And you can see here, kind of, well, I guess a repro of a signature, and it says here 291. Neat there. Somebody has the original. Very cool. All right. The next one is a they're all Action Comics 1000. So this one is a Dan Jurgens black and white exclusive, and it's signed by Scott Snyder, another one of the authors. And this one actually is numbered. Let's see. Only 50 copies he signed of these for Dynamic Forces, and this was number 30. All right, pretty cool. I think this was a wraparound. Hold on a minute, because I also have the colored version of it. But let me just see. Oh yeah, it's a wraparound. Here we go. Front, wrap around, and as you can see, what it is basically Jurgens putting Superman throughout the years, and I guess in some ways imitating the various artists for it. I'll show you the color one in a moment, because I have a color one as well. Now apparently this colored one, also from Dynamic Forces and exclusive, was limited to 8,000 copies. I don't think 8,000 included the black and white. That would be surprising if it did. I'm gonna have to get some clear backing boards for this one as well. And you can see this one a lot nicer. Look at that. All right, let's start off with Superman from Schuster, making your way up and to today. Kind of cool. So limited to, it has the Dynamic Forces thing here. So this one was limited to 8,000 copies. There's no signature on this, but this exclusive Dan Jurgens, Kevin Nolan, and Alex Sinclair variant cover edition is presented by Dynamic Forces. Nice. Let's put that back in here. Okay. Careful of that edge, Joe. Here we go. Should have taken it out with the backboard, right? Okay. Good. All right. Now, the next one, I have to just tell this story a little bit. This is 1,000 copies were signed by Brian Michael Bendis, who has a story in here. This is number 409. Now, when Bendis took over Superman, he spoiled it for me. I don't remember when he did it and whether or not this was something that I should have, that happened before or after. I don't know. If it was today, I probably wouldn't have gotten his signature, but it's the only book I have with his signature on it, though I guess an X-Men one or a Marvel one would have been better. But he signed this. It was number 409 out of 1,000 copies that he signed. All right. This is the Jim Lee, I guess, A cover. Now this is the 1990s variant, and it's pretty cool because 1990s was Dan Jurgens' time, and this is by Dan Jurgens, right? And it's signed by Dan Jurgens right here. Again, it's in silver. At least when you take a look at his signature, you know it's his, which is kind of nice. And Ken Heiser also remarked it in silver up here. Looks like another mean Superman. I guess he likes to do mean Superman. All right. Okay, that's cool. Two more. Another copy of the 1990s variant. 500 of them signed by Dan Jurgens alone, and this is number 4. All right, you see a signature down there, and you see there 4 out of 500. And one more in here. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so this is the, oh, very cool. So this, again, I believe was the cover A by Jim Lee, and this is actually signed by Jim Lee. He signed 120 of them, and this is number 39. There's Jim Lee's squiggle. All right, okay, and you can see there, number 39 out of 120. Very cool. So a pretty good folio, I think. Some cool things in there. Let's take a look at them again. Here's the Batman 89, Miko Swayan, signed by him, right there. Okay. Action 1000, the blank, remark, beautiful remark by Ken Hazer. Another blank remark by Ken Hazer, the Superman emblem. A Kurt Swan pencil repro, 56 out of 60 of these, signed by Tom King. The Dan Jurgens black and white, signed by Scott Snyder. Dan Jurgens color, I got to get him to sign this one, I think, when I go to next con that he's there. This was limited to 8,000, no signature on this one. The Jim Lee A cover, number 409 out of 1,000, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. 1990s variant by Dan Jurgens, signed by Dan Jurgens, and remarked by Ken Hazer. Another 1990s variant, 500 of them signed by Dan Jurgens alone, and this is number 4. And finally, the Jim Lee cover, signed by Jim Lee. He signed 120 of these, and this is number 39. So all in all, a pretty good portfolio. All right, some signatures there and some exclusives. Thanks for watching. I think I have about another 4 of them, so I'll be taking them out here and there, so that you can go ahead and take a look at them along with me, since I don't remember what's in them. Be well, guys, and I'll see you soon.